Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And today, this isn't a breakup story. This is actually a special video that I want to go over for people that are really having a tough time in their breakup. And most of you are, but some people it's a lot tougher because of the circumstances. And I review people's stories on this channel a lot, and I do it for the individual first and foremost and the audience second. So some of the videos that I send out, they don't get a lot of views because they're not resonating with the individuals watching the videos, because every story is individually different in its own way. But what I want to talk about now is, after doing this for over a year and having numerous people send stuff in, I want to give an example of a situation where your mind's running away from you. And this particular video I'm going to dedicate, I don't do it often, but this one's for you, JB, because I can feel the pain in this guy's emails. He's been married for, I believe it's 20 plus years. He's got 2 kids, and he's got this desperation and fear. And right now, everything he's talking about in his emails, I believe he's lost his job. He's got to move in with his 90-plus-year-old father. He's got 2 sons that he's not getting to see as often, and he's not building the relationship he wants with him. His wife's pretty much alienated him, is not giving him a chance. And he's got to sell the house that they bought together, and I don't know that he's taking a loss on it, but he's not happy about it. And when he sends me the emails, he's constantly obsessed with getting her back. And all the details that he's given me, she doesn't want to get back together. And he's not accepting that. And it's hard to read because, dealing with different breakup stories, marriage, kids, someone with someone else for over 15, 20 years, that's a different animal as far as relationships go. You get a lot of people 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, kids, a house together, okay? And like I said, I could feel it. I could feel it in the words he's writing. So I want to write this in a perspective with a little bit of compassion, but also, when I do a live coaching session with someone, I really do listen. I mean, the first hour, sometimes hour and a half, depending on how long the relationship, you're just giving me everything that happened, everything that you're feeling, and I'm taking mental notes, and I'm coming back to where you might be telling a story that's not serving yourself. And at what point are you going to go on offense? And so I'm going to explain that to you, and I've written some things about this. So at what point are you going to go on offense and get off the mat and get in the ring of life and fight for yourself? See, like a lot of people, I get this, oh, how about fighting for the relationship? Oh, he should be fighting for the relationship. Well, if the relationship wasn't a good one, or the person doesn't even appreciate the fact that you're fighting for it, and they just keep going like this, like that, just hand up, at some point you got to go on offense for yourself. And like I said, again, this is for you, JB. I'm going to reflect on a story of my life, and I'm going to come back to this, because this is how people resonate with this story rather than just your story. When I was about 12 years old, I was a real clowner and teaser. I was skinny and short, but I had a lot of friends. So this isn't one of those stories where I'm going to tell you like, oh, I was bullied and I had no friends. No. That's not where I'm going with this, okay? I wasn't like that. I was a little guy, though. I wasn't necessarily someone that got in a lot of fights, but I always had a mouth on me, I always could defend myself. And I'm just putting my size in context to let you know that I wasn't someone that liked to get in physical fights all the time. So 12 years old, we're in the locker room, and it was PE, and you had to get dressed and all that stuff, and someone had written on the walls, and this isn't one of those things where it was a gang or anything. Someone had written their name or something like that. And this other kid who was a real jerk, the kid was a dick, And he was always starting fights with everyone. But one of my best friends, we played on the basketball team together. And my best friend was like 6'3" when he was 12 years old. I'm not exaggerating. But a skinny guy. And this other kid who I knew from class crossed out his name and wrote something and didn't know that was his, because it was like a tag name, like P-Dog or something like that, right? And like I said, this isn't gang stuff or anything like that. It was innocent at 12 years old. And I think I said, so-and-so crossed out your name to my buddy Pellman. I said, but my buddy's like, what? Did you cross out my name? Comes up to him, But my buddy wasn't the type to want to fight him or pick on him. He was a gentle giant at 6'3", right? So this dude runs over to me. This kid runs over to me. I'm saying dude looking back on it, right, at 12. And this guy runs over to me, and he's like, you snitch on me? You snitch on me? And I was kind of caught off guard, because to me, it was all fun and play. I didn't take it seriously. It wasn't that big a deal, right? Because my friend wasn't that mad. He was just messing around. And he's like, did you snitch on me? And I kind of was like, whatever. And he pushed me. Okay? When you get pushed? And I was like, phew. And I remember feeling like this emotion inside me going, ugh, like, the fuck what did you just push me for? And then the second one came. And this kid used to always start fights with everyone and try to get them to back down. He'd take off his shirt and everyone would be like, no, I don't want to fight. The second one he pushed me, and he was a little bit bigger than me, right? I snapped, and I went on fucking offense. I was like, what? What'd you say? I pushed him back. I ran at him, and the guy was totally caught off guard. Oh, I'm just messing with you, Mac. I'm just messing with you. Da-da-da. Look at Max getting all serious. I snapped, because the 2 times he pushed me, I wasn't one of those people that was like, I was a happy-go-lucky, joke-around guy. The second push, it was like, that's it. Fuck that. It jolted me, knocked my neck back, and I flipped. Now, some of you might be thinking, like, where are you going with this? What I'm saying is, like I said, I went on offense. I got aggressive because I wasn't going to back down any longer. I wasn't going to take any more shit. Because at that point, I was like, we're talking about someone that you marked out their name on the wall, and you're coming at me like this. It was unacceptable at 12 years old, right? And I always remember that moment, because when I snapped and I went on offense, he went, he turned it into a big joke. He backed off. And I didn't let it go for like 30 minutes, because I was in mode right there. I was like, nope. And like I said, when I say I was a short, little skinny kid, I was probably like 5 foot, 100 pounds. I was a little guy. So I wasn't anything to fear. But as soon as I snapped in that mode and he pushed me that second time, he could see I was serious now. Now, where am I going with this? When you're in a breakup, you're like you're on defense. You're saying sorry all the time. I see this all the time. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I wish I wouldn't have done this. Oh, I'm gonna change so much. And then at what point are you gonna get your neck snapped back, emotionally, not physically, okay? And go, fuck that. I'm on offense. I'm done. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to my own life. I've talked about this before. I have 400 videos. Okay, this has come up before, but I'm gonna reflect on it again. About 10 years ago, in my worst breakup, I licked my wounds, complained about my life, bitched and moaned. I wasn't just on defense. I was on fucking injured reserve, okay? I was hurting. Everything was bad. Work, the economy was down. This is, I was in real estate. It was when the loan problem came. I mean, it was at the worst time. My ex broke up with me. My family moved out of the area. My finances were falling. I didn't really like some of the friends I was around. I mean, it was just layers and layers and layers, right? When it rains, it pours. And I was sitting there with a shit umbrella, okay? And I just couldn't find anything positive. And then I kind of started to think about it, I was like, wait a minute, I had some talks with my, I'm in my late 20s at the time. I'm in no serious debt, even though I don't have a lot of money. I had no kids with the woman I broke up with, so we didn't have ties to keep us together. I had no serious obligations, so I had some things at that time. And I've talked about this in another video. I got some news via my ex's email that basically she had been seeing someone else, and that's when I went, all right, we're fucking done. Even though we were broken up, it was my push and smack back that said to me, wait a minute, we're done. I'm not going to be able to get back in a relationship even though we haven't been talking, right? That night that I got that email and got that piece of information, and I'll put that video in the notes below about that personal story about exactly what happened because it's pretty interesting. That night, I decided to get off the mat and get my shit together. I've talked about this before. It was like 10 p.m. at night. I just read this email about her hooking up with someone else, and it wasn't an email from someone else. It was from her email. So it was firsthand, direct information, not hearsay from a friend. It was 100%. And you know what? She had every right. She was single. But it was my smack in the mouth that said, I'm done. I'm going on offense. Okay? And that night I decided to get off the mat, get my shit together, flip the script, and go on offense. I went outside. I went and did sprints outside the house for about 20 minutes and started talking to myself. I know it sounds crazy. What the hell? What the fuck? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done, right? And I remember thinking, I'm done. And my sister's looking out the house, and what's wrong with him, you know? And things changed for me immediately after that. Did I feel better? Was I 100%? Hell no. But my mindset was different. I was still hurting. But now I was bobbing and weaving. I wasn't on the mat. I wasn't asking friends for help. I was getting some hits in. And I don't mean that about my ex. I mean, if you look at the breakup and you're in a fight or something, I wasn't just going like this, you know? And then I'd get pummeled. I'd get smacked around. Something would happen at work. You know, I'd be in traffic. But I would keep going. I had a different mindset now. I was like, nah, the worst is over. I eventually got a plan together. I had to sacrifice some things to get where I wanted. That's the other part of it. You have to sacrifice some things in your current life to get where you want to be, okay? At the time, I was in real estate. I was in residential real estate. I was in my middle of my third year. I had some people that I was working with that were clients that were probably going to pay off in the future. What I mean by that, we were probably going to be doing some deals in the future. But if I wanted to make a move, I was going to have to give up that career for something I really wanted to do or excited me at that time, and that's what I did. So I had to make some tough choices. I had to accept the breakup and my role in it instead of just blaming and feeling sorry for myself. So I talked about this before. I'm going to talk about it again. I talked to an energy healer. I think that's what she called herself. I read this book, The Awakening. No. I have to come back to that. I read this book, and this lady was mentioned in it along with some other psychics that did energy healing work and could read your energy over the phone and all this stuff, and I was very intrigued. It was $225 an hour. This is 10 years ago. So if you think breakup coaching on my end is tough, I remember talking to this woman. I signed up for her. I paid her for an hour. I ended up talking to her for 2 hours. She gave me an hour free. I poured my heart out about the breakup. I went on and on and on, and afterwards I felt better. I got it all out. I had someone listen to me for a full 2 hours. And that's what I do a lot of times in the breakup coaching is reassure or tell people where they need to reframe. But sometimes people just need someone to listen for a full 2 hours where you just get it all out. Not little snippets, not little pieces. You get it all out on the table. And that really helped me. It was a great $225 I ever spent. And I felt like the lady was connected. I felt like she cared about me. And I felt like she gave me really good advice. Now, did she tell me my future? No. She told me some interesting, she had some really interesting insights about who I was character-wise that surprised me. So I did that. That's going on offense. Now someone might go, oh, you went to an energy healer and you got 200, you spent 200. Yeah, I did because I was on fucking offense. Because I was like, I'm looking for solutions right now. I'm not going to sit at home and talk to a friend or talk to another friend that could give a fuck because they got a girlfriend already or they're in a bad place themselves. I'm going to talk to a professional person that actually charges a lot of money so that way I value it, and I'm going to take a shot. What's $225 when I'm feeling like shit? Because I'm on offense. I went to a hypnotherapist in San Francisco that created a mantra. I'd never been to a hypnotherapist. I read about him for people that smoke cigarettes. Went to this lady. Originally contacted one lady that I read about on the internet. She goes, look, I'm out of the area now. Go to this lady. Older lady, lets me talk to her for about 10, 15 minutes about my problems. And then she goes, look, what do you want to let go of? Totally blew me away. I want to talk about my problems for another hour, hour and a half. Created this mantra, this tapping and following directions. Listen to that for 15 minutes a day, twice a day, and it made a difference on my mindset. I was on offense. I wasn't trying to get my ex back. I was on offense, okay? Trying to get your ex back is like playing not to lose if you watch sports, okay? Do you understand what I mean? All good teams play to win. If you're playing to win in your breakup, then you know what you're fucking doing? You're on offense, okay? You're going, how do I get out of this? How do I get a solution? How do I move forward? How do I get stronger as an individual? Because I don't want to depend on someone else maybe coming back on their terms, because I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not that bad a person. Now, if you did a bunch of bad shit wrong and you did some really shitty things, then you need that time to work on yourself also. Again, next thing I did, I went on a blind double date with a buddy of mine. Now, this buddy of mine didn't get a lot of women. If you ask me, sometimes his taste in women was pretty low, to be quite frank. But you know what? He's like, Mac, let's go on a blind double date. We go on this blind double date with these two Japanese women that were teaching some kind of English class in California. I don't know how that works, but they were. And the lady, bad date, wasn't very attracted to the girl that was on my end. But you know what? One of the other girl that was dating my friend was like, hey, why don't you look into teaching overseas? Something I always was interested in. Gave me a link, and I started discovering, okay, maybe that's an option for me because I've always wanted to be a teacher. Went on some other dates. All didn't go great, but I was on fucking offense. Do you understand me now? I wasn't in the background going, oh, I just need and I have to get my ex back. That's not offense. That's injured reserve. That's spectator. That's hoping. That's wishing. Right? I went on these dates. They weren't great, but I was taking shots. You know what I'm saying? I was taking shots. I know I'm going very sports on this, right? I like sports. I was taking my shots, right? And it was all right. I'd come back. I'd have a story to tell my friends. Like, oh, my God, I went out with this girl last night. And you know, your buddies are like, hey, did you guys hook up? No, we didn't hook up. She liked you, though. I know she liked. I go, yeah, she did, but it was a bad connection. But I went on them because I was on offense. I was looking for solutions. I was tired of licking my wounds. I wanted to get off the bench and play, okay? I got focused on a new goals. I always wanted to be a teacher. People were telling me, oh, you won't make enough money, you won't do this. And I always wanted to live by the beach. I thought it was unaffordable. I lived in San Diego by the beach, moved back to the Bay Area, and always wanted to get back to the beach, okay? Thought it was unaffordable, didn't want to get my PhD. I always wanted to teach at a university level, okay? I ended up killing 3 birds with 1 stone. I ended up moving to Thailand, teaching at a university, and living by the beach because I was on offense. I stopped finding all the reasons why I couldn't get in the game, all the reasons why I needed to stop hoping and wishing and started to take action, okay? I'm getting deeper with this because this is a serious video. If you got to this point right now, you should be getting my point, but I'm going to ring it home right now. And again, JB, this is for you. You see, we have a spectator, the coach, the player who's on offense or defense. I'm just talking about any sport. And then there's the injured reserve, okay? The IR is fine, right? Sure, you're going to get rehab to get back in the game. And a lot of times in the beginning of a breakup, you're on injured reserve. You can't play right now. You're out of it. You need to get back. You need to, you need to take care of your body, do the rehab, and get back in. But your goal should be to get back on offense, get back in the game. You might need a coach's help. You do not want to be a spectator. You do not want to be on injured reserve for the rest of your career, okay? So let me add one more little special piece to this. Now this, for the younger people that watch my channel in their 20s, maybe they haven't seen it, but go and watch the Rocky series, right? Sylvester Stallone, hey, Adrian, right? If you watch that series, as cheesy as it might seem, it's going to grab you, especially Rocky 1, 2, and 4, I believe. Great movies, emotionally charged, and he's always down. This is the thing about Rocky. He's always down. He's always out. He gets his ass kicked. His friend dies. His trainer dies. No one believes in him. Then it fucking clicks. All of a sudden, the movie has this like midpoint where it's like dun 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 dun. I can't do the Rocky beat, okay? And you just go, and you just feel this like, fuck yeah, Rocky. Like he went on offense. Like fuck this. You know, all this shit came on my back, and he just went, poof, get the fuck off. I'm not going out like this. I'm getting off the mat. He always does it in every movie. And you might be thinking it's Hollywood. Yeah, it is Hollywood, but think about that for a minute. It's not like you're going to go out and fight, you know, the top Russian in the world like he does in Rocky IV or something like that and kick his ass. But you get my point. Watching shit like this will help you too. But all of a sudden it clicks and he goes on offense. He starts training his ass off in the movie. He stops licking his wounds. He says, I'm not a victim. And he just goes, I'm going in. I'm fighting this fucker. Right? And usually he wins, right? Usually he wins. Wow, just had a bird fly into there. That scared the shit out of me. Usually the guy wins, okay? Rocky. God, I'm still taken back by that bird. Maybe that's a sign right there. Rocky isn't about winning every time. It's about bobbing and weaving, staying in. It's about getting off the mat like Rocky does. Going on offense. I know I said it again. Taking some chances, taking some shots. One more sports analogy. Michael Jordan, greatest basketball player ever? Put it in the comments if you think otherwise. But I think he actually probably took the most shots in all of NBA history. He took the tough ones. It wasn't just that he made so many. It's that he had the balls to keep shooting. And that's what I want to tell people out there right now. Oh, I want my ex back. I want my ex back. All I can do is think about, no. If they don't want you back, if they're not receptive to wanting you back or working on things, you need to go on fucking offense for yourself as an individual. That doesn't mean to be hurtful to them. That doesn't mean to be angry at them. That means that you need to figure out what you want to do with your life. That means that you need to start figuring out at some point that you're going to have to go on a date or two. That means that you need to, if you lost your job or you don't like your job, what do you want to get into? What new field do you want to get into? Start getting resourceful and watch a couple Rocky movies when it turns. All of a sudden it turns and he's just like, I'm sick of this, man. And he starts working his ass off to get up to a point that he gets off the mat. Okay? I know this is an emotionally charged one. I got a bird that just ran into the window that I'm looking at right here that I'm going to take care of when I get out of here. But it feels like during the breakup you can't make a shot. Again, basketball, right? You can't make a shot. You can't score a bucket. You can't score a goal if you're into soccer or football, okay? But you still got to take the shots. And that's what happens when you first get in a breakup is, oh, I can't even play the game. And life's a constant game, right? Sometimes the rules change. Sometimes you change. The circumstances change. But you got to get up off the mat and sometimes stop. Oh, sorry. Get on offense, okay? And I'll tell you, I'll close it out with this. That's attractive. That's attractive to your ex. That's attractive to other women. That's attractive to other partners. And confidence is built on getting through bad experiences and dealing with them, okay? Confidence is you coming out the other end going, fuck, I came out of that all right. I got through another tough day, you know? And some of it's going to start with you making an effort. Like I said, some of the things I did, I'm just going to scroll back through here. Some of the things I did, I would never go to an energy healer. I would never, ever think, oh, I'm going to go to an energy healer and pay $225 for an hour and take that chance and take that shot. But you know what? I was on offense. I would never go to a hypnotherapist, but I was on offense, right? A double date with a buddy of mine who I didn't really respect his taste in women, really. Go on a double date. Didn't work out for me, but I was on offense. I actually came across a piece of information that led to me moving away and becoming a teacher near the beach. So my question is, are you ready to get up off the mat? Are you ready to be in that mode when Rocky says, fuck this? I'm training right now. I'm getting back on deck. I'm ready to go. Okay? I hope that helps you out there. Happy New Year. Thank you for supporting the channel.